What's good, everybody? Welcome back to United Fox TV 876. Yes, I am outside in my vehicle in the rain, and this video is a review of the game yesterday. And it is like me taking time to really process the performance yesterday and to really analyze it properly, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get straight into it, yeah? Like, share, and subscribe. Let's do this. Alright, so as you guys are already aware, the scoreline was 3-1 to Brighton over Albion, and a lot of persons can say they are not surprised with the performance yesterday, or surprised with the result yesterday. And at this point in time, people, Manchester United are in some dire times, right? So let me just go through the game and then go through the individual players and go through the tactical analysis of our manager. So we're going to start off with the performances of the players, right? So as we are aware, the starting lineup was Andre Onana, Lindelof and Martinez as our centre backs, Diego Dalot as our right back, and Sergio Reguilon at left back. In midfield, we played a different sort of formation when you actually looked on it, but it was a 4-2-3-1 setup with, of course, McTominay and Casemiro in the middle, with Eriksen at the number 10 position. Bruno was on the wing, with Rashford on the other side, which the left hand side. I'm going to really be honest about Rashford in this video, and of course Rasmus Højlund as our starting striker. Alright, so I'm going to give the performances from the keeper straight to the forwards, ladies and gentlemen. So Onana today, we all know he's good with his feet, that's without question, but there's not much he could have done about the goals he conceded yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So for me, his performance is a 5 out of 10, based because of he couldn't do anything to stop those goals. Now let's talk about Martinez and Lindelof. Personally, I would say their performance was not up to par. Remember, guys, Martinez, he's not the Martinez of last season because he's still rusty because of the injury that he received, right? But that the fact that he's playing, he should be back in track of things, people. So I think that shouldn't be an excuse nonetheless. But he did not play good yesterday, in my opinion. Neither did Lindelof. Despite us starting the game well, right? Sergio Reguilon looked promising, quick. He seems, hungry to play. That was in the first half. It continued in the second half, right? Diego Dalot looked good as well in the first half, and so on and so forth. So let's get this out of the way. The first half performance was okay despite us conceding a goal. It was an okay performance for the most part, right? Talking about Casemiro, McTominay and Eriksen, people, it is basically Casemiro in that midfield, and I'm not saying he was playing outstandingly yesterday. He didn't play well, but he's the only one that seems wants to have things done on the pitch. He's rushing the game still, giving away the ball a lot, looks very sloppy at times, It doesn't look like the Casemiro of last season. Don't get me wrong. Right, ladies and gents? McTominay, yes, him play good for Scotland over the little international break. But what did he provide for us in the game yesterday? Can you tell me? Nobody can. Because he had a piss poor game yesterday. No tackling consistently, no consistent passing of the balls, right? Nothing was consistent from McTominay. And Eriksen again. For the most part, Eriksen looks good on the ball, people. But I think he should be playing from deep. Playing because we don't have anybody better right now to play as a ball progressor from deep. Right? Bruno again, or typical Bruno game. Rush the game, right? Make things happen every now and then do foolishness every now and then, right? Rashford had a very poor game. Rashford was very selfish. Rashford, I don't know, decision making poor. Rashford has very good attributes to become a very, very world-class player, right? But thus far this season, I'm not seeing anything positive from Rashford on the pitch. We have a point man in a striker, Rasmus Højlund. And there were countless times before Rasmus Højlund was substituted, right? Where Rashford had an opportunity to pass or set him up. And Rashford did not. Rashford took the shot or him dribble, right? There was even an instance where Rashford took a shot with his left leg when Rashford could have rolled it across the box. I don't understand what is in the mind of Rashford in these situations. Yes, you want to be the man. Yes, you want to make things happen. But sometimes let the game flow, Rashford. I'm not going to chastise him like how I'm watching a lot of persons chastising him or listening to how a lot of persons chastise him. Rashford has the potential to be a very good player. But he needs to stop being, I don't know if he's stubborn, but to me, based on how he plays, he plays like a stubborn player or a player that lacks footballing intelligence. Because it cannot be that several times you're taking on a man, it's not working, and you're still doing it. You're that stubborn, you're that ignorant to tell yourself that this is not working. Right? Or is the manager telling him these things? I'm going to get to the manager, and I'm not going to say sack him because it's too early to talk about sacking him, and he's the least of our problems right now. Because any manager that comes to United, they don't progress the team after a period of time because of how the club is run. We're not getting into that right now. But somebody needs to tell him, and he needs to take heed to whoever is telling him that, listen, hold up your head. Always look in the box. You're a winger first and a striker second. Distribute some balls to your striker, man. Right? I see Rasmus Højlund making several runs in the box yesterday and never received a pass. Right? Rasmus Højlund, for the 50 minutes that he played for, I would say in the first half he looked very positive. We saw what he brings to the fold, quick, making darting runs, being a point man in the box. We saw it in an early set play in the game. He missed the header, but we saw what he can do, and we saw him score. But Rashford dribbled off the field. But we saw that he can score goals, people. So I am very excited to see what he can do. But yesterday again was just a snippet to what he can do. The bench players, guys, yes, Hannibal came and scored a very wonderful goal, right? And Anthony Martial came on, really did a graveyard shift. I was not impressed with his performance, people. So I'm not going to stay here and say the bench players came on and made a significant impact other than Hannibal, right? So that's that for me. I'm going to talk about Erik ten Hag. Now, a lot of persons who know that I'm a Man United fan, they know that I very much like Eric Ten Hag as the coach of Manchester United. He seems as though he sticks to his standards and so on and so forth in the dressing room, right? And to me, he is the right manager at the wrong time. And let me explain what I mean. He has a philosophy he wants to implement, and that is progressive, high-press football, possession-based, all of those things, right? That's his philosophy. But because of what's above him, right, his superiors, they're not giving him the resources to execute his vision. Because last window, he got all the players he wanted, except Timber and Gakpo, right? So he got the Martinez, he got Casemiro, Anthony. That's a case for another day, but he got the players that he wanted, right? This window, we were expecting a Qatari window, a window where it's new leadership, new ownership. We didn't get that, right? We did not get that. Rasmus Højlund is positive, but I think we should have signed Rasmus Højlund with an experienced striker, right? Because gone are the days where we are depending on Anthony Martial now. Martial is a talented footballer, but he's not a dependable player. He's always injured, and being present is the greatest asset a player can have for our team. And he doesn't have that. So he didn't get his marquee striker, right? Which would have been probably the Osimhens and the Hurricanes. Those are the strikers who we should go for. We didn't get them. We get a young striker who is unproven. Yes, he's leading the Euros top scorer table in terms of the qualifiers and so on and so forth. But he's not a ready-made striker. We need a ready-made striker with him so he can learn and come on and add value. Right now, he's under a level of pressure. Yes, he may handle the pressure well, but he's under a level of pressure at this point in time. And I'm telling you, a lot of fans will turn on him if he's not a success and the manager, right? So Ten Hag didn't really get what he needed to get in terms of to progress the team a certain way. First of which, I don't really agree with him signing Mason Mount. That for me is questionable. And I didn't agree with getting a keeper in this window, right? Prioritize your midfield, Ten Hag, right? And I'm not sure if it is the ownerships who influenced which way to sign the players and so on and so forth. Get me? Amrabat should have been one of the first players to be bought in the club. You get Fred out at a good time in the window, get his replacement in quick succession. So I don't agree with a lot of these things, right? But however, I didn't like how he set up the team yesterday, and I didn't like his substitutions yesterday. For me, Ten Hag's performance yesterday was a 2 out of 10. McTominay is rubbish. I don't know why we didn't cash in. So that footballer for me, I am not a fan. Excuse me for being harsh on him. I'm not a fan. He did not play a good game. There was nothing positive about his game. He was lost in the game as a midfielder yesterday, right? Not stringing the passes, not tackling, breaking up play. Where's that Scotland performance, McTominay for Man United? Where is that? It is similar to the Maguire thing. He plays rubbish for United but still plays. And persons argue that he plays well for England. That is Maguire. But let me tell you something. I'm not a fan of either of them. And we need to go past those players. And Ten Hag, please, stop tinkering with the team. Do what you did last season. Use what works. And you tweak it if there are injuries or emergencies where you can't use whatever player. Stick to what works, Ten Hag. That would be my advice, right? Don't try and force a philosophy and you don't have the tools to do it because you don't have every material to execute your philosophy. and it's quite obvious. You still have the Maguires in the team. You still have the McTominays in the team, right? Still have the Donny van de Beeks in the team. Still have the Anthony Marshalls in the team. So how you want to play football, Ten Hag, you don't have everything you need. So what you need to do is to continue adjusting and not being a stubborn manager, because stubborn managers do not last long at Manchester United. And there are not much managers out there that I think can do this job, because the owners are cunts. But yes, so that is it, people. That's the analysis of the game yesterday. I hope you guys could agree. Well, you can disagree as well with the stuff I said. But you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. See you soon.